my first gig was playing a private party for a Sweet 16 in Connecticut for some spoiled rich girls. And it was kind of funny because Meltzer took acid before there and came along with us. And there was like a Lester Lannon band on the lawn, and then there was Soft White Underbelly with no record deal, and we had nothing. So anyway, my first real gig, though, very quickly thereafter, was Fillmore East.
Wow.
And when I walked down that, from having sat in the audience a few weeks before to being on that stage, that was pretty shocking.
I bet that was.
Yeah.
That was the place.
I mean, just going 1, 2, 3 in the mic of that PA. Whoa! I'm used to some shitty columns. I'm not used to hearing a real PA.
What was that like? That
Oh,
concert?
awesome! But I was scared shitless. So, I had plenty of experience, but not like this. Playing, college kids is one thing, but playing, especially a place where you had been a couple of weeks before to go see the Grateful Dead or Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
So.
At that point, did you feel like you kind of got the vision that maybe you could do something with this? Or did that happen yet?
I had no idea because there was no record yet. It was just, Underbelly was all hype. Perlman and Meltzer had just gathered up a big ball of hype and just bowled it down the lane, hoping to knock the press, and these guys are happening, these guys are going to be big. And, up to a point, they did a very good job because we got our foot in the door.
Yeah.
But Jack Holtzman at Elektra had a canary when Les was fired because he loved Les Bronstein. He thought he was the next Morrison. So then comes me. Okay, here's a quick anecdote about that. So Jack says, well, I want to see the new band with Eric in it. Okay. So we got a gig somewhere in the Zeddy, can't remember where. And I borrowed a 12-string from a guy. And I didn't know how to play anything. Really, I knew like 3 chords. And it's 40 years later, now I know 4.
Right.
So,
an overachiever.
So they plugged me into an amp, and had the volume off. So I'm standing there, Townsend arm swirls and looking great. Jack Holtzman's quote after the show, well, Eric added a lot with his rhythm guitar playing, but I'm not too sure of his vocals.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. That's a quote. I was just lucky to be there. I didn't have any ego. I just thrilled to be in a band that's like doing something. So it was all good to me. So that record didn't happen. Elektra never made that record. They gave up on it completely. A year goes by, we're playing bars and whatever. And anything we could do, we sort of fell back on my bar band experience. And we started learning Rolling Stones and different covers, going out and playing bars we were broke. So we had all the hype in the world and no money.
Right.
So we started playing. We used to get hired for Friday, Saturday at a bar in Long Island. After Friday, they say, don't come back.
Wow.
So we eventually had but just like, it was like Rock Wars, you just learn by doing, just honed, rehearsed in the basement and honed our skills. And luckily it gelled. And Andrew eventually had enough and took off. There's a million more stories, but there's not enough tape in the world to tell them. So Joe Bouchard eventually joins and replaces Andrew with the drummer's brother. And, that was the final original BOC guys.